Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be adding heat transfer vinyl to a velvet travel jewelry box for a Mother's Day craft. This is a great last minute craft to make for your mom or grandma. It's quick and easy to put together, and I think it just turns out so beautiful. I will be using the Siser Juliet cutting machine for this tutorial. If you have a Cricut machine, you can absolutely make this project as well and still follow along with the video. I also wanted to let you know that Creative Fabrica and Siser are teaming up to celebrate all the maker moms in our community with an amazing giveaway. You can win a Siser Juliet machine and the new EasyWeed electric turquoise vinyl that I'm using in this video. Check out my description box on how to enter that. I bought this jewelry box off of Amazon and it was on sale, and I think it still is. It was a great price, like $7.99. I'll put a link for it down in my description box. It's a nice little size and just a perfect blank to personalize. Here's the new Siser EasyWeed electric turquoise color. This vinyl is so pretty. The finish has a metallic sheen to it. I've been testing this material out and it weeds so smoothly and it applies to the material really well. You can apply this to cotton, polyester, cotton poly blends, leather, and I'm applying it to velvet in today's video. You can definitely use this vinyl with the Cricut machines. I love using Siser products with my Cricut all the time. Now let's get into the tutorial. I'm in Leonardo Design Studio and I am going to upload my SVG. First, I want to show you what SVG I'm using. You can make this really easily with a font, but this is already done for you. It's an SVG file. When you download it, it's not going to have this cursive in here. You'll add it yourself. I've already downloaded it onto my computer, so I'll go back into Studio. To bring it into the software, I'll select File, Open. I am going to select the SVG file. It gives you some different options. I am just going to select cut only, then hit next. I'll hit apply, and here it is. What I want to do next is add a text in here. That SVG said to add your name, but I want to add my kids in there. I thought that would be super fun. I'll click text, and I already have the font that I want selected. Here's all the fonts in Leonardo. And what's nice is the ones that you've downloaded from places like Creative Fabrica, DaFont, or any other websites are automatically in here. And I'm going to use I Love Glitter. This one is just such a classic font. I'll make sure to leave a link for the font and the SVG down in the description box. What I'm going to do is go in here and type in my kids' names. I'm going to put 2 spaces so that it kind of fills out more of the space in mom. Then I'll hit apply. One thing that I don't like about this is it really doesn't fill up as much space, and with my jewelry box being more of a square instead of a rectangle like this, I am going to make mom a little bit taller. Sometimes when you do this, it can look a little distorted, but this should still look okay with these letters. I think that looks pretty good. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I want to make sure that these are aligned. I'm going to highlight over both of those. Then I'll come down here and I will just select center. And on there it says, it shows you at the way bottom, it says center left to right. I think I might make it just a little bit taller. I just want to make sure it just fills up more of this. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to highlight over both of these. I'll come down here and I want to weld this together, so I will select on the first one. A lot of these tools are very similar to Cricut Design Space, so if you are a Cricut user, then you can definitely go into that software and create the same project. Now I want to make this about 3.25 inches for the width. And I didn't mention it, but you can see the inches right in here. Okay, it's at 3.253 and the height is at 1.439. Now I can click Send Design. I'll hit Send. With the Siser Juliet machine, you don't have to use a mat if you don't want to, and heat transfer vinyl is a perfect material to not have to use a mat because your blade is not going all the way through the material. So I'm going to make this easy and not use a mat. I already have mirror selected since this is heat transfer vinyl, so you want to make sure that that's checked. Before I hit send to cutter, I'm going to make sure my machine is totally ready. First, I'm going to select my cut setting. On their website for this material, it says force 5 to 10 and speed 10. For some reason, I thought I saw 16, so I'm putting 16 in here. Next, I use the little knob in the back to open up the rollers. Now I can load my material since those rollers are up. This is HTV or EasyWeed, so I do need to put it shiny side down. I try to make sure my vinyl is as straight as possible. I use that line on the machine and it helps a lot. I also want it to be kind of evenly with those rollers, then I switch that lever back up. Now I want to do a test cut since this is the first time I'm using this material. I use those arrows on that touch screen to bring my blade to the bottom left corner, then I press the test cut setting. It'll cut out a little shirt. I must have had the blade a little too low. As you can see, it went off the vinyl a little bit, but it ended up being fine. What I can do is keep the material still loaded, but just bring it out a little bit so I can weed out that spot and make sure it was a good cut. I haven't used the Siser Juliet for too long, but so far this is my favorite feature that the Cricut doesn't have. It's super helpful. My original video was blurry, so here's the one from my phone, but I'm just using my pen tool to weed it out, and it looked like it weeded out really well, even though I had the cut force just a little bit off. Now I'm ready to bring my blade back down to the bottom left corner. This is different than Cricut also. The Siser Juliet cuts in the bottom left corner. Also, you have more control over where to have the blade start cutting, so you want to put it down in the bottom left corner. I'll select send to cutter, then I'll hit yes. The machine will start cutting. It does seem like it cuts very fast. However, I'm not sure how fast it cuts, and compared to the Cricut machines, I'm not sure, but I might do a video on that sometime in the future. Now that it's done, I just unload the mat. You can do that either towards the back or the front. Then I go in and weed out my vinyl. This is very intricate. It's pretty small and it has tiny little script font, but it did a fantastic job cutting it out. I also recommend when you're weeding these tiny pieces like this to get yourself a pen tool. It's definitely a game changer for me. I use it whenever I'm weeding out vinyl. I'm using my Cricut Easy Press Mini for this project. It's a great project for this, and I set it to the low setting and I'm just preheating my jewelry case. I just love that pretty shine on this vinyl, and now I'm ready to line it up. I just try to get it as centered as possible. I place a Teflon sheet on top. This just helps protect the jewelry box material, and then I run my Easy Press Mini over the vinyl for about 25 seconds. Now I'm ready to remove the carrier sheet. This is a hot or a cold peel. The vinyl adhered so well to this. It did have some little press marks from where the carrier sheet was, so I just take a wet washcloth and kind of rub those out. Here's a last look at how this jewelry box turned out. I think it is just so beautiful. It's such a simple and easy craft to put together, but turns out so great. I will make sure to put all the links down in my description box. Also, make sure to check out that awesome giveaway that Siser and Creative Fabrica are doing. And I just hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. I would also love it if you subscribed if you are new to my channel. I'll be doing a little bit more of the Siser cutting machine, but of course, I will be doing tons more videos with the Cricut machine coming up soon on my channel.